The first measure of variability that we're going to look at that's based on deviations is called the variance. And we'll be finding the variance using something called the variance formula, which I'll walk you through on the document camera after this slide. So I'm not going to talk too much about how it's calculated right now. I will just briefly note, however, that an advantage to the variance formula is going to be that it uses all the information in the sample. So we're going to be using every single deviation that we have to come up with a single statistic that tells us how consistent or not consistent our data is, or how spread out or not spread out it is. A disadvantage to the variance, though, that you will soon meet, is that the units are squared. So it's going to give us a single number that tells us about how variable our data is, but it's going to be in units that are hard to interpret. So the variance is one that is generally not reported as a way of just describing how variable your data is, so it's not really used for that, but it is used in other statistical applications. So we're going to talk about how to calculate it as well. And then it will also be the basis for our third and final measure of variability that we're going to talk about. That's the one that is most commonly used. So to sum up here, measure of variability is going to be used deviations. It's going to give us a somewhat hard to interpret number because the units are squared, but it's useful to know because it's the basis for other measures.